Hi there, this is Princy. Welcome to Africa4Nuclear, a platform that takes you through the evolution of energy and how nuclear energy and its range of applications have become a driving force that can impact life all across Africa. Myself and some of my friends across the globe are super excited to be your guide as we cut across through all intersections of nuclear energy. Over the past couple of episodes, we've been talking about the possible energy solutions for climate change. We've heard terms like renewable energy, clean energy, and green energy. Today, we are joined by our resident nuclear engineer, Dr. Napthali Mokgalapa, who will share more details on what those terms mean for us and the future of energy. Welcome to Africa4Nuclear, Napthali. Good to have you here.
Thank you, Princy. I'm glad to be here.
We hear people use terms such as green energy, clean energy, and renewable energy. Please take us through the difference.
Well, they are used a lot and interchangeably so. There's a reason for that. It's because there's a crossover between the three terms. And what is important to note with these terms is that clean energy as well as green energy are actually synonymous. They're synonyms of each other. And clean energy, it means that energy that does not pollute our environment.
In the past centuries, coal created many businesses which didn't exist before under Industrial Revolution. Do you think green energy can achieve that?
With regards to renewable energies, your solar and your wind, there has been advances that have been made in terms of development and research, but we still having, or rather the renewable industry is still struggling with regards to, storage. There's development that is happening there. And also other forms that they're looking at is to couple these renewable energies with gas, for instance. But at the current status is that we are not at the level that we can be able to use them, these renewables, to do massive industrialization. And that's where nuclear energy comes in, because nuclear energy is base load, it's dispatchable, and it's reliable in that it is available 24/7 without being intermittent, which the others are. And most importantly, it is able to address the issues that are required that you need to address in order to do massive industrialization, which is to have, access to energy for more than 60 years, consistently being provided to you, so that you can be able to develop your economies and do massive industrialization and have investment in your country. Without that, then you have energy insecurity, which creates problems with regards to lack of investment and even to an extent of making the countries to be unstable.
Do you think we have enough resources, skills, and manufacturing capabilities to build, design, and operate our own nuclear power plants?
We have to start somewhere, right? The pertinent issue currently that is being talked about is the issue of climate change and global warming. And the idea is that with these energy sources, you're trying to also address these issues that I've spoken about. But you have to do a balancing act, because you cannot sacrifice socio-economic issues and not have energy security to be able to achieve what you'd like to achieve, especially when it comes to Africa, because Africa is in the main underdeveloped, right? And we are experiencing energy poverty. And that in itself culminates to joblessness, poverty, and a number of issues that have to do with the socio-economical environment that we're living in the continent.
If nuclear energy is the solution for African continent, why our leaders are so slow in implementing it?
It's a multi-pronged question, that one, because you are talking about issues of policy, because you see, nuclear in itself is a very it requires thorough planning because of its high standards of regulatory requirements. But the benefit is that the African countries are actually affiliated to the IAEA, which means they are member states and they are able to benefit from the partnerships that IAEA is providing to its member states with regards to the development of regulatory framework in countries and also development of resources, skills resources, and a number of other issues such as safety and so on. The good thing is that although there has been a lag in bringing in nuclear in the continent, we are beginning to see developments happening that show that there is commitment in terms of bringing nuclear energy development in the continent. We're seeing it's happening in Egypt. It is also happening in South Africa. Now, you would not necessarily say that there has been a total blackout in terms of nuclear development on the continent. There are research reactors, which are a precursor to commercial nuclear power plants. So the process has been slow, but the uptake currently is happening rapidly. And if things remain in this trajectory, we should be seeing a lot of countries beginning to develop these programs.
Do you think we have enough resources, skills, and manufacturing capabilities to build, design, and operate our own nuclear power plants?
Well, yes, I think you see, the best way to answer this is to say there are programs in place on the continent with a number of African countries. And these programs are in partnership with the IAEA and a number of other institutions. What we are experiencing is a challenge of communication with regards to what we've been able to amass in terms of cumulative experience that we've been able to build over the years, and also to, give nuclear a humane face from an African perspective, to say this is a technology that can actually help Africa leapfrog into the future in terms of its development and become majority of its countries to become developed countries. We cannot remain underdeveloped countries forever. There has to be a paradigm shift, somewhere, one way or the other. And I'm glad that the African continent is a continent of young people, and if you look at the stats, you will understand why it is important to look at this nuclear energy as a source of energy that can be explored. Because you have a continent of more than 1 billion people that research is showing that it's going to more than double in the next 30 years. And we are experiencing energy poverty currently. If we don't address that problem now, then we're going to find ourselves in a difficult situation later on. So we need sources of energy where we can be able to be mindful of the fact that we need to address the issues of climate change and global warming. And nuclear is a critical buffer that can be able to address that, because it's clean energy that is available. I mean, we're talking about technology that is that is looking for nuclear power plants to run for 8 years. So you can imagine if we were to have a reliable energy source that can run for 8 years, is able to provide high skills in terms of jobs. It is able to address socio-economic issues with regards to things such as water security, issues in the agriculture, issues in the medical sector, and so on and so forth. These are the things that are supposed to give Africans a high standard of living. And I don't think that there's an African person who does not aspire to have that. So we need to look at technology that can be able to assist us with that. And nuclear is a no-brainer when it comes to that.
Napthali, it's been great having you on Africa4Nuclear Couch. Thank you for coming to share your knowledge and passion about nuclear energy.
Well, Princess, thank you for having me on your show, and I'm glad to be here. One thing that I must say, I'm really appreciative of what Africa4Nuclear is doing. To see that when young people take charge to drive the message, especially with regards to such a huge program such as nuclear, it's really encouraging, and I think in a short period of time we should be seeing the fruits of it. And I believe that our leaders should be able to appreciate because one of the critical issues about these programs is communications.
Until next time, ciao.